Hello folks, and welcome back to my to this video of my 3D section. As you can see, this time I am making a pair of boots, and as you can see I'm working on the male model this time. The boots are part of a commission that I landed, and this is also the reason why we're working on the male model. The original, in this case, this boot is for a male character, but for those of you who follow my Patreon or who regularly check on my Patreon, you may have seen that I already uploaded a picture with a female version of this boot. So as you may have seen, I started with a tube, extruded it downward until I hit the ankle, and then I started to extrude only parts of it so I could work it on the form of the foot. Which is what I'm doing right now. I'm working the shoe around the foot. This is a newer version of how I do these things. Before I used to pull the tube around the whole foot from top to bottom or bottom to top, and then try to somehow fit it around the foot, which didn't work really well. This time I decided to do it a little bit different. Right now I used the close tool or the close function to put the top on it. Actually, as you may have seen, I did this twice because at one point the program crashed and I had to redo at least part of it. But the second version worked, or the second way around it worked quite well, because I understood why it crashed, what happened. Just that he didn't like doubling on the functions that I used. Okay. Sorry, I had to make a short break in the recording. Anyhow, yeah, close it up, and now I'm at the point where I had to think about how to do the sole. Usually I start with the bottom, I have a bottom prepared with which I work. In this case I had none, so I decided to do it actually after the foot, and I used the close function again to install a single face. Actually I did this twice. This is the second version. I cut the first version because initially I thought about marking all the making it just a curve, basically the outline of the foot, and extruded inwards, which worked kind of well, but you could use the thicken function like I used right now. It just didn't work for some reason, so I had to do it again. This time, as you can see, I used the close tool to make the plane, then divided it into the little smaller planes, and then I used the extract function to make the sole a single instance instead of part of the whole shoe. Then again with the extrude tool to make the sole a little bit more dynamic, to give it a little bit more depth on the ground, the heel and the part on the on the toes. And now I'm working on the next part, which is a zipper. So I dissociated the thing, cut it open basically, then smoothed it up to just get a first good reading of how the whole shoe is sitting, how the whole thing is actually sitting on the foot. And then I installed a cut on the side, on the inner side of the tie basically. Then I decided to cut the shoe into pieces, the front piece which I just marked, so again extraction tool to make it another part. Now I have the front and the back part, or the leg part and the toe part, which is how I called it. This is just to give the whole shoe, this has two reasons. One is to give the shoe a little bit more depth, a little bit more detail. The other is that I can texture these two parts much easier than I would have been able to with one part. So this is partly just for me to texture the whole thing. Yeah. So I'm working on the leg part right now. And I also decided to thicken the leg part, which gives it just a little bit more depth and just makes it look more real. So it gives a little bit of realism if the whole shoe has a little bit of thickness. No, actually I didn't thicken it. I just used the extrude tool to pull the front part in. At this point I thought about using the thickening tool, but it wouldn't have worked with how I installed the zipper next. So yeah, this was actually a thought I had, but it's something I even tried, I think, but in the end I didn't do it because it just didn't work like it. For zipper I have created a really standard idea on how to make them. It's a simple plane of 3 planes wideness, so this is 3 faces in horizontal, and yeah, as many as I need in vertical. They are aligned with the part where the cut is, so where the zipper would sit naturally or in real life. And it's already thickened, so this is already gone from a grid to a cube, you could say. So now that I have aligned all these parts with one of the axes, I'm just pushing them into the shoe, so this is properly installed basically. So the zipper is with most of my models is work like this. It's three faces sideways and a lot more vertical. I align all these I align the whole thing with the boot or with whatever I'm choosing to do. Okay, so after I align all the parts of the zipper with the object, I choose the faces, usually one side, and every second face on the middle part, then they get extruded, and then this whole thing gets smoothed, which gives me the final look of the zipper. For the zipper lock, so the thing you pull, or you pull up and down, I have a copy paste. I have basically an already finished version which I use for every project that has a zipper in it. So I don't design this each time, but I just copy paste the one I already have, which comes with already done textures. So this is just, I don't know, it's maybe it takes 2 minutes basically of my work, but each time I do a zipper, it's 2 minutes, which adds up over the long haul. So yeah, finishing up with the top part, and then I added a few, I want to say streaks, but that's not the word. Let me think. I added a few optional things. So on the original version of the shoe that was of the boot that was commissioned, there were those straps, and now I'm adding these straps after I've put in all the other things like the zipper. So these straps are just for optics, just to give a little bit of detail to make the boot less boring, less singular. So yeah, that's it. Making a clasp. The clasp I usually do each time, simply because copy pasting them is not so easy, because they need a different angle, they need different size, and it's usually it's faster to make one for the single object than copy pasting that within the project, instead of going all the way and copy pasting it. But probably I could also do a copy pastable one that I can then smooth after I'm inverting it in the program, in the project. So yeah, this is the first of the parts, the clasp, or the buckle, and the I want to say streak again. Word is missing. So yeah, I was looking into how to make the textures, but I had not really a good idea how to do it. So I fiddled around with it a bit, and I think the program shut down at one point while I tried that, because it just didn't work like I wanted to, and in the end I decided to go for the usual flat grid texture here. So yeah, now I'm making this a group, and copy pasting this for a few times over the boot, just to give it a little bit more detail without going into too much work. The whole thing used about 1 hour 40 minutes, so just the boots were I think a little bit around 2 hours, with matching them in depth and depth 3D, and then adjusting whatever needed to be adjusted, because it's usually you usually only see me build the first version, and after I put it in 3D and import it and model it for the first time, there's usually things I need to edit. And in this case I also did the heel modification for the female version. So yeah, all in all, I think it's just the base model 1 hour 40 minutes, with implementing it in Depth 3D and first renders and additional fixes. It was about 2 hours, and with the heels it was 2.5 hours. So for the heels I needed another half hour to put them where how I want them. But yeah, we're almost at the point where I just put on the textures. But as you can see, it's actually not that complicated to make stuff in 3D, to make a boot, to make anything at all. So yeah, textures. This is the texture for the leg part. What follows is the texture for the foot, or for the toe part, which is actually just very easy, very directly doable. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll put a render of the finished thing, male and female, at the end. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm looking forward to feedback of you. If you have anything, if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to say, I'm looking forward to comments. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again.